Tonight on DFI Magic Themes, we're doing an update on the accountability program for building, renting, and ranking, and talking about how our members are finding the training. Well, a very good evening to you, good afternoon, good morning, sideways, left, right, up and down, whichever way you are. Welcome to DFY Live for you. Thank you for joining us wherever you are in the world. First tonight in the room was Richard, followed by our newest member, Mark, followed by, let's have a look, Jeff, Paul, Stefan. I'm just seeing who else, and others will get into the room. If I miss your name, I apologise. Got lots to talk about tonight to squeeze in, so we're going to fit as much as we can in 15 minutes in all the groups, and then we're going to switch to the inner circle only. If you're not a member of the inner circle, go to dfimagicthemes.com/live number for you and become a member to get all the golden nuggets, all that and lots of more tonight on DFY Magic Themes Live for you with myself, Steve, and also Robert. Hello.
No, it's happy.
I tell you what, Robert does a very good job of playing that sexy saxophone on the theme tune at the start, don't you, mate?
You know, I can't help it. I have this modesty thing that I just,
Yeah.
That is one of the first instruments I tried to play when I was a little kid, tiny little kid. And my grandfather used to play saxophone and banjo and all kinds of stuff, but I never learned, never got into it.
I tried the guitar, but my guitar was one string short, so I just gave up. That's how life is, But the thing is, this is something you don't want to give up on, right? This is the fun thing when you start doing, build what we call build, rent, rank. It's always better. Mark B says trumpet to grade 8. When you are focusing on your business, you really do need to focus down and work at your business. We can't be there to build it for you. No one, in any line of work, it doesn't matter what affiliate program that's out there, no one can guarantee you're going to make money in anything, right? And the thing is, what we always say is there are people out there that assume that there's this magic push button system. You're going to press a button and the money's going to be handed to you on a plate. The only magic buttons there are out there is when you put a card in a cash point machine, type your pin in and money comes out, but you got to feed the machine in the first place to get that money. And so in what we're doing in the accountability program is from the ground up training so that you guys can learn as you go along. And I know the product dyno system we have drip feeds it all in, and we have had requests where people have access to the first lot of content up to week 5 once we release week 5 soon. But the thing is, it's also on the other side of it, when we used to put it all in one training area, we had tons and tons of support tickets asking questions about weeks ahead when we know that there's no way in 3 days everyone could have got through all the training. That's how the build, rent, rank system was. And we had one guy who unfortunately took the decision to release 300 to 500 pages on their website on location pages. And within, I'd say, a week of them doing that, their website went offline because Google, well, it got de-indexed. It didn't really go offline, but it got de-indexed by Google because Google
Same
knew
difference.
Google knew that they were trying to play the system, right? You know, we talked in other weeks about like citations. Don't go and buy citations from somebody on Fiverr and get 500 citations done because you'll end up on a citation site in China somewhere, and Google will go, okay, well, here's a local business in Wellington, Florida, yet he's also on a citation site about grasshoppers in China, right? And they will not rank you. I've ranked websites on 10 citations alone and beaten the competition because I've hit the local area and not 500 citations. It doesn't work. I don't care what anyone says. I've tested it and it doesn't work. You hit your local area for your citations. And it's the same with building this business up, that we would want, you know, I'd love to go, you know what, we've recorded all the VIP stuff, have it now, get on with it, do what you want. But we know people will jump to the location part and break it, and then raise a support ticket going, my site's not indexing, my site's not doing this. And we go, well, you've only been with us 2 weeks, right? And you've already, what you've done, already built your site, done your citations, done your social media stuff, done everything, and now you've built your site, your location pages, and broken your site in 2 weeks. It's just not done. You have to take your time, and you have to build this over a number of months. You know, the quickest I've got a site index was 4 weeks. That's the quickest, and that's because I use some ways that I know how to do that. Now, a slowest version, 3 months to 6 months, and in that time, there's other things you can be getting on within your business. And that's why we say in the accountability program, you build, you look for someone who can rent it from you. Even if you want $500 a month in your pocket, and you say, you know what, your first 6 months is $99 a month as a discount. Offer them a discount. Never, by the way, go in the UK, and it used to be in the USA, there's a show called The Apprentice, and they're running a series in the UK at the moment. If you manage to get to view it from overseas, then great. And they do this task where they send people into shops to go and pick up various items. I can't remember what the task is called, but it's basically where they have to go and find an item and haggle at the best price. And the ones I laughed at is the guys who go in there and the item's $200, and straight away they go, will you do it for $190 for me? Not, will you do it for $140 for me? And sort of meet in the middle. All right, they go straight in the wrong way. Now, these shops have got it laughing because they got a product at £200 for an example, and someone goes $190, yeah, done. I'll knock a tenner off. Yet the other team goes in, get the same thing, and they get it for $140. So it's better in our business model to price it at what you want, even if that's $1,000 a month, and then offer somebody a discount for a number of months, which means then at the end of that term, if they're happy with you, you could say, well, now it's $1,000 a month. If they leave, guess what? You rent it to somebody else, or you bargain with them on the price. It all comes down to what is the lowest price you want in something, and what's the highest price, and that's why we go with renting them rather than lead generation. Lead generation's great, but you've got to guarantee leads to people. You've got to get them in. You've got to get them rooted and stuff like that. Renting a site that is brand new isn't hard to rent to someone locally at a discounted price, and say to them, at the end of 6 months, we'll talk about the pricing. And because if you stay with me, I'll probably better do you a great deal beyond that. And that is the thing. And this is coming back round to the accountability program, which is why we're building it from the ground up. And it's all the steps you need to end up with a decent agency site online, ranked, doing well. And then we move into the exciting stuff in the VIP training coming up, which is going to be the directory build, the niche site build, and everything else with it. And at the end of our running time with this, you're going to have a fully built business. And then what it comes down to is for you to go out and find those clients in your local area, which we will give you some tips on how to do as well.
Okay, Steve, you got to take a breath, my friend.
I know.
Please take a breath.
I get excited and passionate.
Oh my God, Stephen, I don't know. You went from 0 to 90 in the first 3 seconds, and you just did the entire business in 30 seconds. And you didn't do it justice, my friend. You went too fast.
I always go
Because
too
first,
fast. You know me.
I know, but the reality is this: we're going to come back.
Mm.
Why did we start the accountability program? Because people have a hard time getting started.
Yeah.
People get, you know, the apprentice thing was a great example. They went in and bit 190, thinking they were doing good. Who taught them? Who trained them? Who mentored them? Right?
No,
They're on a
nobody.
worldwide TV show, but nobody mentored
Mm.
them how to be a
Yeah.
negotiator. And this is what happens in real life experience levels, right? People that people that really know how to sell from a child level are rare. Most of them train themselves become salesmen, or their life experiences bring them to become a salesman. And it takes time and effort. And you know that they say with age comes wisdom. Well, when you're old, you understand what that means. When you're 16 years old, you know everything, right? Especially if you're a guy, you know everything at 16. Nobody can tell you anything because you already know it. But then a couple of years go by and you get stuck with a broken down car that you bought secondhand that you didn't know what to do when you were buying it, right? Dad wasn't there to say, no, that's a piece of junk, right? Or it had a rebuild title or it had a bad engine or whatever. It's that wisdom that comes with age. And all of the things that we do in life, we constantly come up with, should I do it? Should I not do it? And when you sit in the middle, you sit in the very middle of being indecisive and you can't make a decision, nothing gets done. When you can't figure out and you what if this, what if that, what if this, what if that, yourself to death, you stay in a state of indecision. Should I go forward? Should I do this? Should I get that? Should I not get that? And you get nothing. You start. You don't fail forward. You don't do anything. You stay in a state of can I or should I or what if, and nothing happens. If you start taking action and you start moving forward, doing something, and hopefully it's something that you're passionate about. Hopefully it's something that you really see that fits you. Because when you have a passion about something, it just radiates from you when you're speaking about it. Like Steven, he went from 0 to 90 in 3 seconds because he has a passion about this and what we do. And sometimes he goes so fast that you guys are your eyeballs are flapping in your head because you can't catch up where he
The
went.
replay has a slow down feature, so don't worry. I
Yeah.
think you can hit that. Oh, God, be slow. Like the $6 million man. Do you remember that, Robert?
Yep, I do.
Da-na-na-na.
But the whole point is to focus on what you want to do, what you're passionate about, what what is it that ignites you to get up and go? Because trust me when I tell you this, if you have a job that you dread, the alarm clock goes off and you struggle out of bed, you struggle to get to work, and but boy, when that thing hits 5 o'clock, you're out of there, right? That's not your place. That's not where you really want to be. And life experiences go by so quickly. And sometimes we're stuck. We get stuck. I was there for many years of my life, raising 4 kids. I had to make enough money, but it was never enough. And it was always in a job that just seemed like it was just a place I didn't want to be. And it wears you down. But you get stuck in those ruts and you can't move forward. Take an opportunity. If you can find a mentor that is in something that you really love and you're passionate about, that will help you, that will teach you, that will show you, that will stop you from making the mistakes that Stephen and I had made. In this case, if you're doing what we do, right? They help you avoid the mistakes that are going to cost you a lot of grief. You know, why do I'm going to pick on the real estate industry for a minute. Why do real estate mentors make so much money? Because real estate makes the most millionaires out of anything out there in the world. Well, then why aren't there more? Because it's hard business. It's a tough business. You know, I forget what the numbers were, so 60 or 70,000 realtors in my area where I live in the Tri-County area, right? So it's out of 70,000 realtors, maybe 10% make a decent income from real estate, being a real estate agent. The rest of them are retired, or they're tapped into the real estate market to become investors, or they're doing this, but they make no money. They're striving to do any kind of deals, right? And there's that top 10 or 20% that get all the deals as real estate agents because they really know how to sell. They're passionate about what they do, and they've taken the time to train themselves and get the help they need to make those deals happen, right? So the real estate mentors, right? They're out there teaching the real estate people that want to learn it, and they're making the big bucks because the promise of doing 100, 200, 300, $500,000 in real estate sales is very doable when you're in the top 10, 20%. But the rest of them that are starving never got that education, never got that chance, never got that figured out that a mentor or a mentorship course would have helped them tremendously. But how long does it take to become a realtor or a real estate agent? Not to pick on them. It takes in Florida 2 to 3 weeks, and you can get your license and you can be out there doing real estate. Did you learn everything you needed to learn in 2 or 3 weeks? Hell no. The school of hard knocks is coming. And you're going to learn the hard way on what makes a good deal, what doesn't make a good deal, why one person will drag you around for 30 houses in 30 days that they'll never buy one. You know, because you didn't know how to vet them first on whether they're really going to qualify for a house, or if they have what it takes to buy a house. But these are the what ifs, the indecisive moments in life that what am I going to do? How am I going to push forward? What makes me want to get up and get out of bed and go do something? Is it helping people? Is it running, a different kind of organization? Is it creating passive income streams like rent and rent websites? That's what we do here. We're creating digital assets that we all want to rent on a weekly basis and collect money from and do it over and over and over again. And how do you get started with that? You get started with that with something that takes you from ground zero and explains what that entails to get you to the end zone of the game and win. Is it 1, 2, 3, you're done? No, it takes time. Can we build a site in 15 minutes, Stephen? We can.
Yeah.
Is it going to be the best site in the world? No. Because it's not going to have all the bells and whistles attached to it that we teach in the accountability program. But we can put a site online and put data on it in 15 minutes. Right? It doesn't take long to do a DFY site, but will it have citations? Will it have backlinks? Will it have social media? No. Those are the things that you have to add on to make it run properly, to make it rank in Google. And that's what the accountability program is about. It's about us holding you accountable to get to that first site build, to really understand the workings of what it takes to build the proper foundation. And, this is what I love about our community, right? I don't know, is Lane on the call? I don't even know.
He's not yet. But one thing I will say, we've got a few people on the call that are already in the accountability program. So if any of you are willing just to pop up with us and tell us how you're getting on, pop your virtual hand up. It's under reactions.
What I was going to say first was Lane popped in a little infographic into the accountability program group. And it's an awesome, everybody should see that post from Lane and look at that, because everybody's worried about different things at different times because they hear a little buzz about everything's about page speed. No, everything's about content. Everything's about this. If you don't have an SSL, you're never going to rank. But in that chart, it shows the percentages. the biggest percentage was quality content on a regular basis, which is part of the foundation of what Stephen and I have been talking about for years. You've got to add quality content. Why did DFY Magic Theme sites rank out of the box? Because we preload it with at least 10 to 12,000 words of related topic content. Stephen was talking about 2, 3, 4 weeks for sites that can index. Our case study website was indexed within 2 weeks, right? Because it's loaded with pre-spun content about the niche in such a way that Google notices it right away. And that happens a lot in DFY sites. We're not going to say it all the time because we don't have that crystal ball that's going to say, what are the competition levels in this city on this topic? And we'll never tell you that. But different cases have come up all the time where if you do the research in the accountability program and you know what your competition is, that's why we got into teaching that, because it tells you, it gives you the indicators. Can I rank before I even build? And if you don't have that knowledge and you didn't know that and you're just throwing the spaghetti on the wall to see if it sticks and then it's done, that's not the process we want you to go through. We want you to know where you stand before you build. And then take that build and expand on it, knowing what you know and the keywords that you want to go after. I see we got Lane here. I don't know if he's asleep or.
I'm going to ask him to unmute. See, now Lane's someone who put a support ticket in and had some minor technical issues, and we jumped on a call with him 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which was about an hour and a half before this meeting, and had a chat with him about some issues that were there. And Lane, there's a few wonderful things you said, and I don't know if you remember, but I loved how you said about that is it that we oversell or something? I can't remember exactly what you said. You might remember.
Oh, you want me to say that?
You can.
You say whatever you want to say. You can.
But you say what you want to say. Yeah.
You can shake us about, but no, we'll just turn off the Zoom camera if it gets ugly.
Right. No, I had an issue. I turned in a support ticket, and it was really hard to explain even on the ticket. So, fortunately, Robert and Steve got onto my system, did a remote with me, and they said, "Well, we don't know either, so we'll figure it out and let you know in the next couple of days." So this is good. But I've made a comment to Robert that he seems to oversell the fact that of how much they want to help us, take care of us, teach us, etc. I said, the first couple of weeks that was really nice to hear, but now it's like, okay, move on. Let's get to the meat and potatoes. And they both said the problem from their perspective was that since they'd been involved in other programs, bought things that didn't work, involved with people that didn't care, that's why they've been forthcoming with the fact they want us to know that they do care and want to take care of us and teach us. But you can only do it in baby steps. You can't, everybody's at such a different level. You can only do it in baby steps and then advance as things advance. So anyway, I was being the papa for a minute. It's like, stop overselling it. And they were like, yeah, but this is who we are. It's like, okay, then, this is who you are. So that's it.
It was nice because the appreciation you gave us back, we don't always get to hear that from you guys. That's the thing. We a lot of people in this group will know, our long-term customers will know that we do look after you guys, and we always try our best to. And there are times when technical hiccups come up, and we pass things back to the devs, and we have to wait on them to resolve them. But we will always get to a solution to a problem. Yeah, I mean, like the latest one was the Rank Math and our Magic Code Builder, and the devs have come up with a solution to the problem working with Rank Math. I thought he'd already rolled out the update, and he hasn't. So tomorrow he'll be politely told off because he's a good dev, and I will get him to roll out the update in the next couple of days as soon as he's online, because he doesn't always work weekends. But as soon as he's online, he'll roll that out and we'll get that sorted. But you guys will know with us that we will look after our products and we will make sure that issues are fixed. That's the main thing.
No, we appreciate that, Lane. You know, you're a wise man with much experience, right? Even though you've only turned 29, I get that.
Right? Times
But
two
wisdom
plus.
wisdom comes with age, right?
Yes, it
So,
does.
and you're the first one to point things out very quickly, and let's get right to the meat and potatoes. And that's what I like about you, because there's no fluff in the middle. But what you what you weren't part of, um, like I was with Stephen, when I couldn't get answers that I needed. And I was going to people to get my answers to help me proceed forward from a product that I paid a lot of money for. And a year and a half went by that I struggled so badly, was so stressed out to know I could do something, because I'd done it before with a developer, but there was a solution that would do the same thing for me in a fraction of the time. I built physical pages, 40 of them on a website, and it took almost a year, and it was about $70,000 in development, right? Did it work? Yes, it did. But because of um, being transparent, because we are transparent all the time, I got sued for copyright infringement of 2 photographs that a VA put on a website. I didn't know anything about it. I knew that it was done correctly at the time per the web developer. Said as long as the copyright information is put on the photos, you're okay to use them from Google. This goes back quite a few years. I used them. Then I got served a notice of copyright infringement. But what I didn't realize was when the website was moved from one hosting account to another hosting account, those images got cropped. They cut off the copyright. So I was in copyright infringement, right? But did I know this was happening on a 250-page website? No, not until I got served notice. As soon as I got served notice, I took the images down. But because it was a real estate website, it was worth a lot of money. There's ambulance chasers in the world for medical. There's copyright infringement attorneys that are just like ambulance chasers on the internet. So when you don't know what you're doing, you're not advised right things to do, you can get in trouble. So what happened? The website I built with the developer cost me a lot of money. I had to make a decision. Either dissolve my LLC and get rid of the $180,000 lawsuit for the 2 pictures, or fight them. Well, I tried in between to offer them enough money to make it go away. Did it go away? No. I wanted more money. I said, okay. I dissolved the LLC. I had to take the website down. But that was cheaper than a long-standing lawsuit and something that may or may not work, right? So that's what I chose to do. So as I'm developing this other program that I purchased, do the same thing again. I can see location pages. I can see all these things being done in minutes, but I couldn't make it work. There was no support. The questions I got back were, oh, it's in your code, or it's in this, or it's in that, or do this. I couldn't even get the licenses to work. And that led me to Stephen, and I paid him to mentor me. And then he taught me things that I didn't know how to do in that program. And we've moved on since then. So that became the foothold of what we do today in DFY Magic Themes. We call ourselves defiers because we're defying what everybody else is doing. We're teaching what needs to be taught. We're not sugarcoating it. We're not fluffing it up to make it look good, to just sell you the next course. We're giving you the nuts and bolts to make the things work. Because if you don't know how things work from the foundation up, like the accountability program that is in place, will you use it all? Maybe not. Will you do it on every website? Maybe not. But if you know the makings of what it takes to do the things right, then you're going to do them. So that part of it, Lane, is a couple of years before we met you. And our passion shows when I see people struggling with anything. Stephen is the tech wizard. I'm more of the content guy and doing the fancy stuff on how it looks or runs or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's you getting your answers to your questions. It's people in the accountability program. Am I kicking you out the door to do your work every day. No, I can't. But I can tell you, here's a milestone you need to hit. You need to be here. You need to get it hosted. You need to do this. And when you hit those steps, you start getting confidence in yourself that you can do this. And the more you learn, we were talking about speaking trade lingos earlier. Trade lingo, being able to talk to somebody on the same level, is sales 101, right? If you're going to come in and talk to somebody about a website and their education is, let's say, not through college, they're old, just barely got through high school, and that's how they speak, and you start talking to them like a college professor, you lost them. You got to talk to them on their level. You got to give them what they need, right? And when you're talking trades and you're talking services about websites, you got to sell them where they are. And it's not always go throw up on them about the website. It's about giving them the information they need to make that decision to take action, go with you. And that's part of this whole program. It's not just a building a website. The tech is easy when you have people support you when you get stuck. But when you don't have those people, you're stuck. And that's
absolutely. I
agree,
where
the passion comes out when you're stuck, because I get upset about the time I wasted. And I wished I had met Stephen a year and a half earlier at the time, but maybe that had to happen first.
The student tells the master when it's ready.
And you know something? For those who are watching this that want to get in on the accountability program, if you're not already in on it, if you're already in a circle members area and you're not on it, message us. We'll look after you. But if you're someone new, head to dfimagicthemes.com. Now, just quickly, guys, put one in the chat if you'd like to see a very quick way of getting customers online. Those are in Zoom, but one in the chat if you want to see a quick way of how to get customers. We've got Richard, put one in the chat. We've got Tommy, Stefan, Mark, Paul, Jeff. Lots of people putting one in the chat. So I'm going to show you very quickly a way of doing that right now. Oh, except unfortunately, I've got to say goodbye to everyone in all the free groups. What a shame. Bye. Bad luck. If you want to be in the inner circle, you have to go to dfimagicthemes.com/live for you.
You missed a good one there, Steve.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, Crawl. Hey. It's going to be good, this, I'll tell you.